What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Off Topic. We are back again, Kadeem. How are you doing this week, man?
Having a great one. Had a great one. Moving soon.
Yeah, so how's that process going for you?
Absolute hell. I'm doing all the painting myself. I see why people pay for this.
Yeah, painting, moving. What's your official move day?
The 21st is the day I
21st. Cool, cool. While it is a very exciting time to get your first house and doing all that stuff, holy shit, does it suck to do everything before.
Yep.
Um, Other than that, Kadeem, another good week for media. One Piece is back this week. Let's
Yep.
get right into it. One Piece chapter 1080. Uh, Monkey D. Garp has finally shown us what he can do.
Yep.
Tell me how you feel about the chapter. What stuck out to you in the chapter besides Garp?
So I thought Sword was extremely impressive.
Yeah.
Um, I always thought Aokiji was going to be like a double agent and was actually a member of Sword or actually working for the government. But the fact that he said who Sword is makes me think that's probably not the case. Or he was just a lot deeper undercover than we thought.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought maybe that would be almost even throwing him off the scent of him by just outwardly saying what Sword is.
Now, I guess, yeah, that could be.
But it could go either way. But yeah,
That
keep
could
going.
be.
What else stuck out to you?
Um, Outside of the punch, I did love that Garp said Kobe is the future of the Marines.
Yes, that was
I'm,
important.
I'm a big Kobe fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sword is tough, dude. Sword is formidable.
Yeah, and you could see that those guys are all well trained. Like bullets weren't even affecting them, and things like that. Um, I thought it was cool that we got to see some more of Blackbeard's crew. We got
Mm-hmm.
to see some more of their devil fruits. We
Mm-hmm.
got to see um, what three more members and what devil fruits they've gotten now. The island fruit seems like it could be a problem
Crazy.
anywhere.
Crazy.
Um,
I don't know who fights that. How do you fight that?
Well, that's what I mean. You have to be such a high level of strength to even
Yeah.
combat that. Um, and then the guy, what's the one big guy's name? He got the huge
Yeah.
fruit.
He was
What are
already
we?
a giant and ate a
Yeah.
huge, like, he is big as hell. That's
So
what he's
like
bigger than ours.
you start like to see like the devil fruits these guys have gotten,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like got to start planning ahead. Like these matchups for the ending war is going to be crazy difficult for the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
Um, that takes me into my next theory. It's not even really a theory. I think this is kind of how it's shaping up. Kobe is going to be Luffy's Garp.
I'd say so.
Luffy is Roger. Kobe is Garp. They're going to team up and fight Blackbeard in the final war, like
I could
Roger
see
and Garp did together at the God Valley incident. I'm so pumped
that.
to see them team up.
Now the thing is, what level do we think Kobe is punching on now? Like Kobe is strong. Kobe is strong, but like right now, I think I still have Sanji beating Kobe. I'm gonna say for sure. If like for me, if Sanji had to fight Kobe, I have Sanji working Kobe. Like where do you think Kobe is right now in terms of strength? Because for what you
Uh,
just said to happen, he needs to be right at or above Zoro's level.
so at some point soon, he needs to have a hockey bloom.
Ah,
Like
yeah, good point. Good.
So maybe this is the precursor where Garp dies and he has the hockey bloom.
Yeah. It's it's funny we both agree Garp is out of here.
And
Like
it's
it's
like,
so
and
sad.
I'm glad we get to see like a little bit of Garp go off before, but he needs to die. Like for the
Yeah,
story to progress, for Kobe to progress, he's got to go.
yeah.
Um, I didn't expect Kobe to be able to fight and beat Blackbeard, so I'm good with him getting captured in that situation.
Oh yeah.
But um, if you said he was below Sanji, we don't have any evidence to say he's above Sanji.
Hmm.
So I'm good with that. But he's already like they're already calling him the hero. Like it's kind of crazy. Like he's literally shaping up to be Garp. But
Yeah.
this fight's coming sooner than later. And if what I think is going to happen is him being Luffy's Garp, um, they need to we need to see how strong he really is sooner than later.
Okay.
Um, Anything else in the chapter you think that was really important?
No, did up. I mean, it was a
Yes.
very focused chapter.
Here's four members of Blackbeard's crew.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this. Here's Garp. It's on.
Fuck him up. Yeah.
Okay,
Did you
so
see
like,
lightning coming off of him?
oh, he had Conqueror's Hockey going.
It's just insane
Yeah.
amounts of everything I see from Garp. Like everything I see right now makes me wonder, like, how strong were Roger and Whitebeard and him, like even him and Sengoku back then?
Well, that's part of like if Garp is still able to smash an island.
Yeah,
I mean, and he's smiling about it. It doesn't even seem like he's really going.
like
That takes us back to like, remember when Sinjeo was talking about like how long he trained just to like slow down Garp.
Mm-hmm.
Like Garp's like, yeah, I punched 8 mountains and like destroyed them. Like Garp was always a demon, like in comparison to that era. So I would assume, I mean, Roger and Whitebeard had to be the same, if not better.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
At Marineford, Garp said he was going to kill Akainu for what he did to Ace.
Yeah.
And he told Sengoku, if you better hold me down or I'm gonna kill him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Because
we have to be led to believe that he could beat Akainu at that point.
He just threw a top 3 punch in this series so far.
Like, this also leads me to believe that Dragon is who I think he is.
Yeah, I mean,
because you can't have a son who's Luffy and your dad is Garp and you not be that guy. Like,
that is fair.
Like you got two of the best punchers in the game. Garp, like Dragon, has to be special.
No, that's very fair. I have no argument against that.
Could you imagine if Garp's like blood just skipped Dragon and went to Luffy?
I could see Dragon just being really, really smart and never really like. I could see him having latent strength, but never using it and just caring about like the shit Robin cares about. But I can also see him being an absolute monster.
I just got to believe in my heart of hearts he is a monster just like those two.
That's fair.
I thought 1080 was a really, like you said, a focused chapter, but it was a quality chapter. We progressed right along. We're learning more about Blackbeard's crew. We're learning more about Sword. We're figuring out how important Kobe is to Garp, which let's do a little flashback to Marineford again. Ace sat right there and died in front of Garp, and he didn't feel the same way. Mm-hmm. That was rough. Like now to look back and see how Ace had to die with Garp sitting right there, that's tough. That's really tough.
I really think because like I've seen a lot of people like on Twitter talk about like, well, Garp just let Ace die. Like remember, Garp let Luffy knock him out so he could go save Ace. Like Garp, for all intents and purposes, Ace was free. Like Garp let himself be knocked out so he could save Ace. Ace was free, and Ace turned around to die, essentially.
Yeah.
So, and then Garp was going to kill him. So I really think Garp is like he's consistent here.
I do think that's fair, but also Garp clearly had the ability to never have him on the stand.
Yeah, but then that's Garp going to war with the government at that point.
And that's fine, and I get like he made that decision a long time ago, but it just is like, oh, this guy really could have stopped it all if he really needed to. So in light of that, we're going to build our own One Piece cruise. We're going to do it a little bit differently because not everybody has like a navigator. Not everybody has a cook. They're not all laid out the same. So the way we're going to lay our cruise out is we're going to have one vice captain, 2 combatants, 1 helmsman, 1 doctor, and 1 double fruit user. So Kadeem, start us off. Who's going to be your vice captain?
I talk about him a lot, and I've never been a big fan of him, but I'm picking Trafalgar Law.
Yes.
Because Law, the same way Law like kind of keeps Luffy in line and kind of makes sure things progress, I really feel like I would need a vice captain who does that so I don't go off the rails. So picking Law.
I like Law. I think that's a smart pick because he is so multidimensional. Mm-hmm. He's a fantastic supporter in fighting. He makes smart decisions. He is willing to keep you in check as a captain, being a former captain himself. And again, however you look at it, his devil fruit is so broken that it helps you in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I went a different way in my vice captain. I'm going to go with Aokiji. Um, I think he's one of the smarter characters in One Piece. I think he's one of the more calculated characters in One Piece. He makes decisions that are rational, and he knows how to further himself down the line. And also, he has a extremely strong devil fruit that
Yeah.
would be very helpful on the seas. And we know he is at least admiral level, so we know he could at least handle a lot of the people in the verse.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Aokiji as my vice captain.
Fair.
Who are your two combatants in your crew?
You knew I was picking Zoro.
Yep.
I'm picking the biggest badass in this show to fight because that's really all he's good for is fighting. Second, I'm picking Doflamingo. All three types of hockey. We're seeing how strong Conqueror's hockey is. Really strong Devil Fruit that's already awakened.
Mm-hmm.
Doflamingo and Zoro would be my nasty duo.
Okay. Question: are you taking Doffy's crew in your fleet? Those ragtag group of idiots.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, just because Pika's in them and the one snot guy, that's an automatic. The snot guy ruins them.
No, that's good. I like your combatants are awesome. They're badasses. Unfortunately, they are not better than my combatants,
Okay.
and that's on purpose. Shanks and Mihawk are my combatants.
What the fuck? Okay. I mean, okay.
So here's what we do. On my crew, we have our own place, and we just watch Shanks and Mihawks' legendary battles play out. It just sounds fun.
Okay. I'm skipping that. That's unfair.
Who is your doctor going to be?
Well, we got to have a great doctor, and we got to keep our bounty low. I'm taking Tony Chopper and his 100 berry bounty.
He keeps you guys right under the radar of the Navy.
Right under the radar. But no, I love Chopper. He's my second favorite character in the show.
Yeah.
He's a great doctor. He cares so much. We can eat cotton.
That's a great pick. Chopper he fits in any crew. My doctor, I ended up picking Marco. I was going to pick Law, but obviously you made a great first pick with your vice captain. Marco has fantastic healing abilities. His devil fruit literally is perfect for healing, and I just think his devil fruit's so cool. The Phoenix and everything. I think Marco is perfect doctor for my crew.
Okay.
Who is your helmsman?
Give me the future Fleet Admiral Kobe. I really like Kobe. I've liked him since the first episode. I mean, Kobe is the man, and I need some honor on my ship, some more honor to cancel out Doffy.
Yeah, no, we gotta balance out our crazy characters. My helmsman is going to be Jinbei. Jinbei's he's one of my favorite One Piece characters. We know he's one of the best helmsmen in One Piece, and I feel like he would still be able to get some respect from the other guys because just of how well he's respected in the verse. So my helmsman is going to be Jinbei. All right. Who is your crew's devil fruit user?
I am taking Ganel. That lightning fruit is probably just off raw devil fruit power, the strongest fruit we've seen.
Yeah.
He has, outside of like Katakori's future sight, he has the strongest observation hockey we've seen. Like, he could hear and sense things over an entire island.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was absolutely ridiculous. And Oda just deciding to make rubber actually rubber at that point is the only reason we made it off Sky Island.
Yep.
Give me an L.
That's a fantastic pick. He has one of the top 5 devil fruits in the show for sure. My devil fruit user is going to be Warden Magellan.
Okay, I get it.
I don't know why I have been a fan of Magellan literally since Impel Down. The Hydra, when he uses the Hydra in his devil fruit, he is, to me, like, if he had hockey, he would be unbeatable with the Hydra. Mm-hmm. He defeated Blackbeard and his whole crew. He defeated Luffy. He literally was he's just a powerhouse in his devil fruit. Yes, it has some backdraw to it, but
Mm.
I have a hard time finding anybody that has as great and as dangerous functionality with their devil fruit.
Does your ship have a toilet that can house Magellan
A big one.
for
It's called the
90?
ocean.
That is gross. I mean, I know it's where it's going anyway, but that is something.
Have you seen all the water around us?
That is something.
All right, Kadeem. I like your crew, man. I think that was a fun little experiment there. Next, you're going to take over for a segment here. Tell us about this next one that you came up with.
So, as we all know, Doug might be one of the three toughest people to walk this planet. So, at this
Obviously.
point, to challenge him, we have to go to fiction. So, I have selected a couple of different post apocalyptic scenarios. I'm going to give you a brief description of the scenario I'm choosing. You tell me if you would survive, how you would survive, what you rate your survivability as on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
So the first one is the world of Bird Box. In Bird Box, these almost like Cthulhu like creatures come out, and if you see them, you instantly, off yourself. It drives you insane, you off yourself, and all it takes is a look. You can even see them on camera or something like that. Doug, how do you fare in this world?
Uh, Not great. I feel like being blind would be really hard, especially
Yep.
after like seeing your whole life. So the adjustment would be very difficult. Not blind, but like not being able to use
Yeah.
your eyes in the same everyday way. So I almost feel like you could die like just by accident, like something you're used to like doing every day. Like you look out the side of your eye and there's like something there. Like so I would give myself probably like a 5 out of 10 because I mean you gotta like
I'm listening.
that's 50%. Like I mean if I like mess up, I'm dead. So I would like every day would be a struggle to like focus and stay prepared in that kind of world.
Okay. Um, all righty. The next one is the world of the Terminator. Uh, for those who haven't watched, in the world of the Terminator, an artificial intelligence becomes self aware and designs humanoid robots to exterminate all of humankind. They're extremely advanced, and the more advanced ones can shift into like liquid metal and make, rockets and things come out their arms. They're super strong. Doug, how do you fare in the futuristic world of the Terminator?
Am I being targeted?
No, you're just part of the resistance, but you're not specifically, John Connor.
Oh, okay. Well, that does make me like a little bit better. So I'll say like a 2 because
Okay.
like I don't have the skills to survive in a war.
Okay.
But if I'm not being targeted per se, like that helps me up like a little bit. So
Okay.
I'll say I probably die pretty early on in the resistance of with like the war resistance.
Okay.
I take like a plasma rifle to the face or something.
It's incredible you think you do better in Terminator than in Bird Box. That's incredible. Um,
Wait, I said a 5 in Bird Box.
yeah. Oh, you're right.
Other
You're
way.
right.
Okay, yeah. No, you're good. Go ahead.
So now we reach the zombie part. Three
Uh,
different types of zombies. First is I Am Legend.
oh
In I
man,
Am Legend, it's a zombie movie, essentially infected. But the thing is, he's all by himself. There are no other humans in the world. It's just him and his dog. Doug, you can be solo. You can be with a pet, a fictional pet. How are you faring in I Am Legend all by yourself?
I just think I'd drive myself crazy, so it wouldn't go well. And those zombies were they were
Smart.
moving,
Yeah.
like they were strong. They were like I don't know, like probably like a 1.
Okay.
I just like being alone would be so hard.
I actually gave you a 4. I think after a while, I think to start off you do okay. After a while, I just don't think anybody can go that long by themselves.
Yeah. Um, do I have like a weapon? Do I have like what
Yeah.
Will Smith had, like the
Yeah.
weapons
You
and everything?
you you can be
So
like.
maybe a little bit longer than that. Like
Mhm.
I mean, the dude had a treadmill, he had a dog, so I guess I don't know, like a 3 or 4 probably. With Will Smith had in the movie, I would make it a little bit longer.
Okay. This is another technically zombie movie. World War Z. Uh, in this one, the zombies are once again infected by a bite. but they turn in 10 seconds. They have a hive mind and they swarm like crazy.
I just picture that airplane scene where they like take down the whole airplane.
Yep.
Those zombies were rough.
Yep. We know the answer here. Give us the
Yeah,
number.
it's a 0.
It's a 0.
Yeah, I mean, like, and here's the thing: like, I'm not Brad Pitt, where I'm going out of my way to find a cure. So, like,
Yeah, we're
I'm
just
just, I don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know where I can find some ammo. Like, I'm in trouble. Yeah, no, I'm not surviving in that World War Z.
Now, this one is going to be friendly to you. The final zombie one is Zombieland. Another zombie movie. These are really slow. They're really dumb.
Yeah,
Really easy to get by.
I would say probably like a 6 or a 7 in that one because while they still are a threat, they're not like the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like those zombies are like actively moving fast and coming at you. These ones, like, obviously they're meant to be more of a joke. Woody Harrelson stands in a clown tent and just shoots them with just.
That was fucking cool.
It's a fantastic scene, but like
really
you can
cool.
see that they're like not really that big of a threat. Like he's literally just standing in the middle of one when he's getting swarmed and they're not getting to him. I would give myself like a 6 or 7 in that one because they're not as dangerous. Like Bill Murray was half a zombie and he wasn't going after like people.
I'll tell you, if we gave you 2 months to get your cardio together, I'd give you like a 9.
Well, I'd have to follow the rules very closely.
Yeah, you get your cardio together, you get like a 9.
Yeah, now that one would be a lot easier than the other two.
Our final one, Reign of Fire. In this movie, scientists are drilling underground. They uncover a nest of dragons, like thousands of dragons that come out, take to the sky, and absolutely fuck mankind up. How are you going in Reign of Fire?
The problem with that is like the event could be so random in which I would die.
Oh yeah.
So like, if I had like a bunker, sure, but like in my house, I could get like a dragon could just shit on my house and I'd be screwed. Like, so it's not great. Now, if I had a fighter jet and it's one-on-one,
would lose to dragons. I'm sorry.
And it's one-on-one, I've got a good chance.
Fighter jet.
Okay, guys, listen to this. Do you think a modern jet fighter could beat a dragon one-on-one? The speed itself is so insanely different. Like the dragon would have no chance.
Dragons are fast, dude.
They're not Mach 3. What?
They might be. Here's the thing: dragons are beating. Now, here's the thing: if you're saying one jet versus one dragon, I might agree. But we're assuming there are going to be multiple dragons. Like fighter jets are getting tore up. I'm standing by that too.
Okay. What's his name? Greyjoy took down a dragon on a ship with a spear.
That was okay. So he did.
Euron? Is it Euron Greyjoy?
Yes, Euron did take down one dragon with a spear. Then the next day, there were like 18 of those spears destroyed because Drogon was pissed. He put up a triple-double against King's Landing, a bad one too.
If Euron had a fighter jet,
I mean,
it's over.
If Hot Pie has a fighter jet, this show goes a lot differently.
Yeah, so that one's not really going to go well for me. Like they just, especially the amount of dragons there were. Like, that was a lot of dragons. But I would like to go out like Matthew McConaughey went out in that movie.
Big battle axe, walking right towards the male. That thing was huge too.
That was awesome. Yeah. No. So I'm not great with survival. Clearly.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you were a lot more honest in these than I gave you credit for.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead in a lot of scenarios.
You were a lot more honest in these than I gave you credit for. I'm impressed.
I mean, picture this though. I'm failing in real life. Why would I do any better in a post-apocalyptic
survive this world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already failing, so I'm not going to do better there. All right, Kadeem, that was good. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad you came up with that. All right, Kadeem, let's transition into, we're going to do our draft for this week is our favorite video games.
Okay.
Because you always get the number one pick, I'm going to go first.
You.
I'm going to take Halo 3 as my first pick.
Okay, that's a legendary game.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I used to spend a lot of time playing that game, a lot of multiplayer, a lot of custom games. Really, that was one of the first games that I played a lot of custom games on. Um, so it's always going to have a soft spot in my heart. What is your number one pick?
Favorite game of all time is God of War 2016. They
Okay.
brought the series back, completely changed the gameplay, completely changed the storyline. It was an experience for me. I love that game so much.
So yeah, I mean, I've not played the God of War games, but I've listened to you talk about them and like
Obsessed.
just your passion for them. So I completely understand that. I figured that'd be your first pick.
Hmm.
My second round pick is actually going to be Resident Evil 1. I played that all the way back on the PlayStation,
Okay.
and it just has always stuck with me. Like the raspy little finger going like this and shushing like the opening scene.
Hmm.
And I like the idea that like the star people being like the police force and then them coming in. So I just have always been a fan of Resident Evil 1, and that was one of
Okay.
my most like memorable games I played because I played it when I was young and zombies were so cool. They still are cool, but like it was just my introduction to zombies at the time.
Okay.
Who is your second round pick?
Metal Gear Solid 3. So I love the Metal Gear series, and my favorite, this doesn't even have my favorite Snake. I like Solid Snake, but this is like Big Boss in the Russian jungle in like the 60s. And
Yep.
he is an absolute nightmare. Like they call it Snake Eater because you actually have like a hunger bar. So like you have to find something in the forest and you will literally just pick up a snake and bite into it if you're, dying of hunger.
Right.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that you like did it, got your health that way. That's
Yeah.
actually really cool. My third round pick is going to be NCAA football 2013.
So,
I love the whole entire series, but 13 was probably the best overall game. Um, it's just a game. I mean, I cannot wait till next year when the new NCAA football comes out and we can play online and have
mm-hmm.
a dynasty. Like I'm so pumped for that.
Gotta have
But
it. Yep.
that's just a game that I'm always gonna love, and I still play it on my Xbox 360 like to this day. So definitely had to be on my list.
Okay.
Your third round pick.
My favorite fighting game of all time is Def Jam Vendetta.
Oh,
It had like a roster made of like Def Jam
oh
artists. So
God.
you had like DMX, Sean Paul, Snoop Dogg. Like you had a long list of artists. You could customize your moves. If anybody's ever played it, they'll tell you Fat Joe hits like a fucking truck and can do the pedigree for some reason, and it takes like half your health away. It's ridiculous, but it's an
Yeah.
amazing game.
No, that's those games. Like I've played them a couple of times. They are just so outrageous and they're so fun. Like it's
Yep,
just fighting as your favorite rapper is actually a delight.
yep.
Um, my fourth round pick is actually going to be San Andreas, or not San Andreas. I'm sorry, Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Okay.
I just guys, there's nothing better than just shooting up prostitutes. I can't tell you. You know, it's just such a fun game. Um,
What happened?
if you're in your early 30s, you've played Vice City, and you just love it. That's as simple as that.
The Grand Theft Autos are legendary.
Yeah. What is your fourth round pick?
I hate to keep picking PlayStation exclusives, but I have played and replayed Ghost of Tsushima so many times. I love being a samurai so much. Like it's the coolest thing in the world. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the most beautiful games you'll ever see. One of the best games you'll ever play.
Um, and I even played it. I'm not big into like the epic adventure, but Ghost of Tsushima was a really good game. Really
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed. Um, like you said, being a samurai, man, you're just cutting shit up. Like it was a lot of fun. My fifth and final pick is going to be James Bond 007 for the N64.
That's a good one.
When you brought up the Golden Gun a couple weeks ago, I just like brought back so many memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the game. Like I remember Boris like talking about being invincible and running and disappearing into the air. It's just a great game. 006. Just a game I'm never going to forget playing as a kid. So it's definitely in my top five still. What is your fifth and final pick?
I had to pick Monster Hunter World just because I can't quit this game. I have like 500 hours into it. It's a game where you literally hunt monsters. There, some of them look like dinosaurs. Some of them look like something you've never seen before. You hunt them, you make weapon and armor out of them, and then you hunt bigger stuff. It's ridiculously fun, especially when you're playing with somebody else.
Yeah, you talk about that's another game you talk about a lot that
Mhm.
you always have something good to say about it. So um, I like both for our lists. We didn't step on each other's toes this time.
Okay.
Obviously, we got a little bit different taste, but I think both lists have their own merits for sure. Kadeem, you tweeted about recently you watched Arrival for the first time.
Yes.
Arrival is a fantastic movie. Um, it's got a killer cast. Tell us how you felt about Arrival after watching it for the first time.
I don't know where I was when this movie came out or why I didn't watch it. This is possibly the a top 3 alien movie of all time.
And it's
Like,
a you know what's great about it is it's a different take on aliens.
yes.
It's a fresh take on aliens.
Yes.
Go ahead and explain a little bit more.
So for those who haven't seen it, basically 12 alien ships land all around the earth and they're not hostile. So they get a professor of linguistics who understands language to come in and figure out a way to communicate with the aliens. And so that's the whole movie. It's her trying to figure out what the aliens are saying, so she can figure out why they're there.
Yes.
Fantastic movie. Even if you don't like movies about aliens, you have to like it. It is an absolutely amazing movie.
Yeah, no, don't go into it and think we're just fighting the aliens.
Yes,
It's not your run of the mill
nothing to do with that.
aliens attack and we fight them off. It's a lot deeper than that. Amy Adams is the lead.
Yep.
She is communicating with Costa and Estella,
Mm-hmm.
the two aliens, and she learns their language. And there's a deeper layer to this where the story is also getting told one
Mm-hmm.
way and it's getting told the other way at the same time. And
Oh, I'm
Jeremy
glad you
Renner,
brought that.
yeah, I was going to say,
That messed me.
how did you feel
That
about the
messed
twist
me
of the
up.
time?
That
Yeah,
messed me. It. I love the point that the movie's trying to make too. Like the point the movie is focusing on is that the language you speak influences how you see the world.
yes,
That it's a really good point. I think it's actually pretty true. And at the end, when you get the major twist of the movie, I was that tore me up.
yeah,
I loved it. Loved
yeah.
it.
No, and I mean, this movie's been out long enough where it doesn't matter. Jeremy Renner is her husband, but you don't know he's her husband until the end, and it
Hmm.
flips around. Um, Arrival, it's definitely one of my favorite alien movies in no matter what.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Great rewatch value. So if you guys haven't seen Arrival, definitely go check it out. Kadeem, just because we're on the topic of sci-fi movies and we haven't really gotten into this recently, um, can you give me your top 5 sci-fi movies?
Just straight five, just straight up.
Yeah, and you don't even have to do like one, like just your 5 favorite sci-fi movies.
Okay, so I'm going Jurassic Park, the
Easy,
first one. I'm going Terminator 2.
easy.
Um, this is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Some people call it sci-fi, some people call it fantasy. Star Wars Episode 3,
Yeah, I mean yeah.
that would be in there for me. Um, I'd probably go Prey, the latest Predator movie. If you didn't see
Whoa,
that, that movie was fantastic.
it really was.
And it's gonna be between. I'm telling you, it's gonna be between Arrival and The Matrix for like I'll probably lean Matrix because I only saw Arrival once, and I'm probably just still high off
First
that
time.
one viewing. So I'll lean Matrix, but Arrival is that good.
Yeah, no, Arrival is kick ass. My top 5 that just came to my, I just did it off the top of my head without really looking into it further. I had Matrix, Terminator 2,
Hmm.
Alien 1, Inception, and Interstellar.
A lot of people liked Interstellar.
I love it. It's one of my favorite like space journeys.
So I'll tell you, my list might be changing soon because I've gotten very good word about Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh,
I've
with
heard
Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
that's another one I've missed. I've heard Edge of Tomorrow is absolutely fantastic, so that's another one that I'm adding. I'll see Edge of Tomorrow, and I might that might change my list because I've heard pretty
It's
good things.
it's really really good. It's that one is us fighting aliens, but it's a interesting spin on how we fight aliens and the goal of the aliens. So
Okay.
I think you're going to enjoy that one a lot. I'll tell you what, Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt together are a kick-ass duo. So I think you'll definitely enjoy their chemistry.
Okay.
All right, Kadeem, you told us last week that you were starting a new series. Have you started Vikings yet?
Yep. Already at the end of season 2.
Wow, you're at the end of season 2 already.
Yeah.
Holy
It
shit!
is good. It
Okay,
is good.
tell us about Vikings and give us the recommendation.
So Vikings has a bit of a slow burn. If you're into Viking stuff, you've heard the name Ragnar Lothbrok. If not, just know he's a famous Viking. It from the limited knowledge I know of Old England and Old Norse type stuff, it seems to be pretty accurate. But I have very limited knowledge. But it's really just about this clan of Vikings who find a way to sail west, and they go to Europe for. I'm sorry, they go to like England for the first time. So you're seeing how the Vikings react to the English, how the English react, like the differences, how they see each other differently because of their religion. Like the Christians see them as, barbarians because they're Norse pagans. Meanwhile, the Norse see them as soft. Like it's an outstanding. It's a really really good story. It has really strong actors, and the weirdest thing is I can't figure out what's going to happen next. Like, how you
Um,
see a guy and you're like, oh, okay, well, clearly he's going to be a bad guy, right? And it hasn't happened. Like, there are certain things, or he'll be bad, and you're like, okay, I knew it. And then something happens where he completely redeems himself. This is really not a black and white story, which is
okay.
probably the most enjoyable part of it.
Question is the wrestler Edge in it, or is that a different
No,
series?
no, he's not in this one. But there's a guy who looks like Edge, a really big dude who looks like Edge.
I could have swore Edge was in that.
Now, I'm only on season 2. Like, he might come into it because
Okay.
the time skips in this are really smooth as well. Like, you'll have one scene where, just say, like, someone's pregnant. In
Yeah.
the next scene, their child is a toddler. Like, they
Oh,
don't
okay.
they move time very smoothly because things happen years apart. Um,
Gotcha.
but yeah, really good. Don't watch it. Don't go into it looking for like amazing action because it's really not focused around fighting. It's focused around like the history of the times.
Okay.
So like if you're looking for like, Gladiator or something, this isn't going to be for you. But if you really like history or you have an interest in Vikings, like check this out.
Cool. Okay. Now where's that streaming on?
I'm on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Okay, cool. The more you talked about it, I think I'm going to check it out eventually. Kadeem, let's get into this. This is our final thing of the day. Obviously, we're going to do questions from the audience. Um, Question number one: what is your least favorite job you've ever had?
This is funny because I've only had 3. I worked as a delivery boy. I worked as a clerk in at a law firm, and now I work as an attorney. And I sure can't say this one, or I'll be fired. So I'm gonna have to say working as a delivery boy was my
Was
least
that Jimmy
favorite.
John? Was that a
Yeah,
Jimmy John? Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna have to say that one. But I've enjoyed them all. But I guess which one I enjoyed the least was Jimmy John's, just because I didn't like telling people I was a delivery boy because I guess people looked at me a little differently when I said I worked at a law firm, and I enjoyed that a little more.
My least favorite job was I worked for a sprinkler company where
Mhm.
we would install the sprinklers and everything. And I just every freaking day those guys sucked so bad. They were so just displeased with their lives that it made the job so unbearable.
I get
Like
it.
you're training they were training me as a new person and I just was like, "Oh, this is what 20 years of this would feel like."
I
And
get it.
I quit within like 3 or 4 months because I just couldn't take like the veterans at this place were just so done with it. Like, why would I ever want to get that far
Yeah.
myself? So, when I worked as a sprinkler fitter, I was never happy ever. Question number two: if you were to win $10 million
Okay.
today, what would be the first thing you buy?
It's gonna sound so boring, but I'd have to buy my mom a house.
It's a good one.
Like I just told you I bought a house, and like my mom was huge in helping me do stuff to get ready. She's even helped me like find stuff to help me fix it up and stuff. Like I would have to buy her like a really really nice house that she can retire in, and hopefully stop working now.
Yeah, no, that's obviously that's a good one. What is okay? Then give me one thing like a splurge item you would buy for yourself besides a dildo.
We'll get into that later. I think I saw on Cribs once that somebody had a whole wall that was a fish tank, and their TV sat inside it.
Inside this fish tank?
Like the fish tank had a cutout in it, and their
Oh,
TV sat in that. So while watching TV, there's a fish tank in the background, like their whole
yeah,
wall's a fish tank. Then there's a big ass TV. I would want that.
that would be sick.
That would be
I
insane.
I love that. The first thing I would buy at my current house would be an indoor pool.
Fair.
I would love to own an indoor pool someday. And with $10 million, like zoning issues and like grown up things wouldn't matter as
Okay.
much. So
It's like
like I would buy a badass in ground pool for
okay.
sure. Final question of the day. Um, what is one place that you have never visited that you want to visit?
So if we're talking about in the U.S., I really want to go to Hawaii. I really want to see the beach. I really want to see the volcanoes. I
Mhm.
feel like something tells me Hawaiian bananas taste better than bananas anywhere else in the world. Don't ask me why, but I think a smoothie in Hawaii is going to be amazing. Outside of Hawaii, I really want to see Japan. Like I
That
watch so much anime that I see, little images of certain parts. It'd just be cool to like go into a Japanese karaoke house or something like that.
Yeah, no, those are really two good answers. Um, Hawaii is a great answer. That was I would like to like okay, so if I could go to Australia and
Mhm.
know that I'm safe, I would love to go there
You
because
mean
it
like
just seems like it would be such a cool place.
you mean like out in the bush, like where all the
Like
animals are?
I would like to see like the wilderness, but I don't want to deal
Oh,
with the wilderness. That's what I mean though. Like I would, but I want to see it. Like I think
like
it'd be sweet to see it, but I don't want to be in danger.
here's I for 90% of Australia I can get with, but the spiders in Australia are so big that
Exactly.
I
No,
would I would rather fire myself into space.
I just think it would be super cool to like go to Australia, but I want to be safe. And like you could go to Australia and you could do like the great white shark thing. Like you could go into the cage and see them. Like I would love to see a great white shark. But obviously I want to be safe. So I'm going to pick Australia, but with the caveat that I am safe.
I would have to wear an Iron Man suit to go to Australia. I'm being very serious.
I don't know if Iron Man wins in Deep Blue Sea.
Hey, if you've ever been to Hawaii, please tell me if the bananas are that good. Like
Yeah.
somebody send a comment, tell me if the bananas are actually as good as I think.
All right, Kadeem. We had another good show. We laughed a lot on this one. This was a good one. Um, anything else before we get out of here, man?
I'm chilling.
Quick question: is that a new shirt? Because that X-Men shirt
Yeah,
looks
yeah. Like
badass.
little X Men
Yeah,
shirt, the original series. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's a sweet shirt. Guys, we're out of here this week. We'll be back again next week. Tell us anything in the comments. Let us know. Give us a recommendation on a TV show to watch or anything. We'll get some more TikToks out there. We're gonna try to get Kadeem on TikTok more. We have some cool filters and things for him to try out. Guys, have a good rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.